Are you stressed out because you've got a paper due and your teacher says that you need to create a bibliography? Don't worry. Welcome to Citing Sources in MLA Format, a teacher helper video by me, Ashley Marshall. In this episode, we're going to look at why we need to cite sources, what MLA formatting is, and how to use Purdue OWL and EasyBib.com together. Unless you're playing baseball, it's never good for people to think that you are trying to steal. And in academics, it's no different. It's important to make sure that people don't think that you're stealing other people's words or ideas. To be clear, it's okay to use other people's words and ideas. It's just not okay to pretend that they are your words and ideas. And so, we have to cite sources. Now, citing is a fancy word that means to mention or to declare, and sources, well, that's the origin of where you got your information. When citing sources, it's important that we indicate whose words they are and where we found them. There are many different formats for creating citations. There's APA style, which is typically used for science papers, the Chicago style, which is often used for business papers, history papers, and sometimes for fine arts papers. And then there's MLA formatting, which is used for languages and the studies of the humanities. MLA formatting originates with the Modern Language Association, which is based in the United States. Their website is visible here on the left-hand side, mlahandbook.org. They're the ones who designate exactly what should be in MLA formatting. But a good place for you to go if you're studying for school is Purdue Online Writing Lab, or Purdue OWL. They've taken the MLA formatting and made it easy to use and easy to understand for students of all ages. You can see on the left-hand side that they have an entire menu that tells you how to cite for different kinds of sources. Their website is owl.english.purdue.edu, and you should get very familiar with their website. According to them, the use of MLA style can protect writers from accusations of plagiarism, which is the academic word for stealing, and so MLA formatting is important for us to know. There are two areas in MLA formatting. There are in-text citations, which is also called parenthetical citations because of the use of parentheses, as you see here, to go around the citations. And then there's also a works cited list that appears at the end of your paper, which is essentially a list of all the sources that you used in putting your paper together. In-text citations look like what you see on screen right now. The quotation, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, came from Wordsworth and not us, and they were found on page 263 of the work that's listed in our works cited list. We could see that here in parentheses, but the reason we only put 263 is because within the text itself we mention the name of the author, but in the text below we cited it without using Wordsworth's name, and so in the in-text citation we include the name of the author so we know page 263 of his work and not someone else's. Also take note that parenthetical citations are at the end of the sentence, but they're inside of the punctuation. This is very important and you may need to check this later on. But how do we create full citations anyway? Well, that's where EasyBib.com comes in. Pretty simple website. Forgive the ads that you see. Well, you can see right here, if you follow the cursor, they've got MLA format, or you can click for APA, Chicago, or other formatting styles. It's preset here to MLA, and you can see tabs here for citing a website, a book, a video film, a journal, a database, or 59 other types of options. Well, let's have a look at all these things that they have here. If you need to cite the Bible, a blog or podcast, a brochure, a digital file, an email or editorial, how about an interview, a journal article, a lecture or speech, a letter that you received, a live performance that you attended, music or an audio file, a pamphlet, or even a photograph, all of these types of sources you can use with EasyBib to cite properly. We're going to move from website to a book, and we're going to pull up a citation for The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, and we'll see just how quickly we can create a full citation for this Kite Runner book. It's taking a couple seconds just to run. And now we can see there are so many hits that came up for The Kite Runner in a book. All kinds of things. They've got the graphic novel, They've got a book based on the movie here. They got a portrait of the filmmaker. They've got a curriculum companion, but we're just going to go with the first one because it's the actual book that I'm looking for. And we click Cite This, and it gives us a page where we can actually enter some more information if some information is missing. It's given us the name of the author, Khaled Hosseini. It's given us the publisher, the city it was published in, and the year. For our purposes, we don't need anything else to cite the source, but if there was a particular volume, edition, or series, we could actually type in that information ourselves. I'm going to click Create Citation now, and just like that, we have our citation here, and all I'm going to do is highlight it, and then copy and paste it into my works cited list. So here is our citation for Khaled Hosseini's The Kite Runner. It looks just like this, and we can cut and paste it to our works cited list. Oh, and by the way, if you were wondering whether or not I was going to cite the Purdue OWL website, it's right here, a full citation for a website. Now, our citation list is where we list all the sources used, and it's usually entitled Works Cited. Here's a look at a works cited list from the Purdue OWL website. You'll notice that all of the entries here are listed alphabetically by whatever comes first, depending on the type of citation that it is. And speaking of different types of citations, you can see here that we have a website, we have a DVD, and we have a print material, which could be a book or an article or a magazine. Now, just because we're using EasyBib.com, we shouldn't assume that everything that comes out of there is correct. I would strongly recommend checking back in with the Purdue OWL Online Writing Lab to make sure that you have everything in your citation that needs to be there. Their website, again, is at the bottom of the screen. In this video, we've looked at why we need to cite sources, what MLA formatting is, and how to use Purdue OWL and EasyBib.com together. If you want to know all about essays, what to put in an essay, and how to put an essay all together, you need to check out the Effective Essay Writing series, another teacher helper project. Hey, subscribe to us on YouTube and like us on Facebook.